What up, YouTube? It's Big Lou tapping on in with What It Do with Big Lou. And I want to give a little shout out and homenaje to one of the greatest Puerto Rican champions to ever fight. He recently passed away on June 13th, so he just passed away. That's no other than Carlos Ortiz. He was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico on September 9th, 1936, and he passed away, like I said, June 13th, 2022 in New York City. He's a former lightweight champion, which is 135 pounds, and he's a former junior welterweight champion, which is 140 pounds. As of January 2018, he had held the record for the most wins in unified title bouts in history at 10. He was 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. He was an orthodox boxer, which means right-handed. He was 61-7-1-1, which is 61 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest, with 30 knockouts. 1991 was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. In 2002, Ortiz was voted by Ring Magazine as the 60th greatest fighter of all time, or of the last 80 years, excuse me. And he was held 21st place in BoxRec ranking of the greatest pound-for-pound boxers of all time, excuse me. In 1955, he made his pro debut with the first-round knockout of Kenny Bell in New York City. He won his first title against Kenny Lane. This was their second fight, because the first fight, Kenny Lane beat him. The second fight, Ortiz knocked him out at the end of the second round. And that was on June 12th, 1959. He became the junior welterweight champion. And then he ended up losing the junior welterweight title, which was, like I said, 140 pounds. And instead of going up in weight like most boxers do, going up to 147, which is welterweight, he went down to lightweight, which is 135. And he won his first title at 135 on April 21st, 1962. He defeated Joe Brown for lightweight title via a 15-round decision in Las Vegas. And he didn't have his first pro debut fight in Puerto Rico until April 7th, 1963. So he was already fighting 8 years until he finally fought in Puerto Rico, his homeland. And it was a 13th-round knockout over Doug Valiant. And I was reading up on Carlos Ortiz, man, because he's a lot before my time, obviously. But this guy traveled to Italy, from New York all the way to San Francisco. He's been all over the place to fight guys. I was reading at different countries he's went to, and you're speaking back in the 50s, Even to this day now, you got a lot of guys that are champions out of Europe and all that, and they've never even fought on the United States soil. You know what I mean? So the dude was a trailblazer. He's one of the top 10 Puerto Rican fighters of all time. He's up there with Trinidad, with Miguel Cotto, with Wilfredo Benitez, Wilfredo Gomez, Hector Camacho, and Jose Torres as the greatest Puerto Rican fighters. You also got Sexto Escobar, and you got John Molina, you got Jake the Snake Rodriguez, excuse me. You got a lot of those other champions. But I just wanted to give a shout out and prayers to his family, to one of the greatest champions, period, of boxing, but not only that, of Puerto Rico. That's why I threw my Puerto Rican hat on. So just give shout outs to Carlos Ortiz. Anybody in the comment section, if you knew of Carlos Ortiz, I know Coach 215 does, and a few guys might, old school boxers. But if you leave a comment and let me know what you thought of him. And with that being said, Big Lou gonna tap on out with What It Do with Big Lou.